shining a light on the ideas, culture, and people of the Spartan community.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to this installment of Spotlight. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski, and today we're going to be getting a behind-the-scenes look from the IM Recreation Sports Marketing Team at Michigan State University. I'm joined by two guests, Jacob Nelson, a junior at MSU who is studying environmental sustainability, and is the IM Rec Sports social media manager. We're also joined by Kailey Nguyen, a junior at MSU who is studying graphic design and is the IM Rec Sports graphic designer. Welcome and thank you for joining us. So, Jacob, can you speak a little bit to what IM Rec Sports is?
So we manage the sports facilities on campus as well as the club and IM sports just to promote health and well-being in our community at MSU.
Yeah. So, Kailey, what are your job responsibilities?
So as the graphic designer, I am in charge of just the graphics and the posters that you see around campus for all the facilities that we have under the marketing team.
Jacob, who else is a part of your team other than you two?
So we have 3 other coworkers. One is a senior, and then we have, I think, 2 sophomores. We have Ryan Holly, he's the videographer. Kimberly Tsai, she's the photographer, and then Deja Burke is just another member of the marketing team. And then our boss is Jody Strank, and she just manages the whole marketing team.
So, Kailey, how long have you been working for IM Rec Sports?
I joined the team last March, so it's been around a year that I've been working with the team.
And Jacob, how long have you been working for?
So I joined this past fall, and I've been working with the team ever since. It's been an interesting experience, to say the least. I didn't know that much about IM or club sports before I joined, and now I'm getting to see all of these events pop up in fall, winter, and spring, and then soon summer. So
yeah. So we talked a little bit before this, but Jacob, how did you get this role?
So Kailey actually got me this role. Kailey and I have known each other for a very long time, and she basically, a senior had graduated who was in my position, and Kailey was like, hey, if you want to join the team, there's a spot open. So I talked to Jody, and then now I'm on the team.
Kailey, have you recommended anyone else for this position, or were you like, you know what, Jacob's the man?
I did not recommend anyone initially to this role. It was just so easy. The role opened up so quickly, and then Jacob was saying he was looking for a job, and I thought it'd be interesting to see him kind of step outside of his comfort zone while also seeing him like navigate the process of becoming the social media manager, and we work pretty closely on the team.
Yeah. So Jacob, what kind of sports do you guys cover?
So we cover almost all of the club sports on campus, and then all of the IM sports. So that can range from club soccer to club volleyball, all the way to like inner tube water polo for IM or IM battleship, basketball, baseball, basically anything you can name, we typically cover it.
Kailey, are you a fan of sports?
Not particularly. I mean, with the exception of the big names like the Olympics and whatnot, I typically just leave it on in the background, or if someone else in the room is watching, I will typically be doing my own thing.
So we discussed a little bit about the different clubs, Jacob. What are you hoping to join in the future? Are there clubs that you're wanting to participate in?
Yeah, so I really like water sports just in general, and I do have like some friends on swim club. I also just want to, there's an IM battleship team, which is basically you take a bunch of canoes, put them in a pool, and then try to sink the other people's canoes. So I'm trying to do that, maybe not this semester, but next semester or something like that. I think it would be a fun team exercise.
We're going to come back in a moment to learn more about our guest experiences after this message.
What makes a Spartan a Spartan? The relentless drive to turn question marks into exclamation points. Believing that we are strong as one, but extraordinary together. And it's our impact that matters most. What makes a Spartan is what's inside, the commitment to something bigger. Because the world never stops asking, who will? Spartans will.
We're back in the studio, and I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski. I'm joined by our guests, Jacob Nelson, a junior at MSU who is studying environmental sustainability and is the IM Rec Sports social media manager. We're also joined by Kailey Nguyen, a junior at MSU who is studying graphic design and is the IM Rec Sports graphic designer. So, Kailey, what facilities do you work for?
So all the facilities on campus include IM West, IM East, which is where the marketing team is based, IM Circle, and then there is the Dem Hall, the newly implemented Spartan Greens, which is the new turf area, and then the Sailing Center by Lake Lansing.
Wow. So we're going to see a quick video exploring the facilities offered on campus and around different parts of East Lansing, and some of the MSU students' thoughts on these facilities.
IM Recreational Sports has multiple facilities. IM Circle located on West Circle Drive, IM East located on East Shaw Lane, IM West located on Chestnut Road, Dem Hall located on Dem Hall Road, the MSU Sailing Center located in Haslett, Michigan, and multiple outdoor fields. Some Michigan State University students shared their experiences and knowledge of these facilities.
So I've never been to IM Rex, West, East, any of those. I don't think I've heard about them. I know like people work out in them or whatever, but no, I've never been there.
I know that the IM sports facilities have a variety of classes to go to and like sports teams to be a part of. I go to Zumba every week on Tuesdays. It's really fun. They have fun lights, and the music is fun, and the teacher is cool.
Make sure you go to recsports.msu.edu to register for your student membership.
That was very interesting. So, Jacob, do you go to any of these facilities?
Yeah, I use the pool at IM West a lot. There is a pool at IM Circle too that I don't use that often. But other than that, I go to the gyms and other things that are in the facilities.
Kailey, what do you want to get out of this job? What's your end goal?
I think mostly I'm gaining a lot of experience from this job and just gaining the proficiency I need to step into the graphic design field. It's a very competitive business, so I think this is a great starting point for me when it comes to communicating with clients, our boss, and just being able to use visual language to market for the IM Sports facilities.
So, Kailey, what kind of skills do you think are needed in order to work at IM?
I think just companionship. A lot of our work is based on what each of the members is doing. There's a lot of communication between us, so just being very open with what we've accomplished and what we haven't is really important to progress in the projects that we work on.
Jacob, what would you say is like the biggest perk of working at IM?
There aren't like many perks that we get outside of like just being MSU employees, but I mean from time to time if there are like extra free things that are left over from an event, we get like access to them, I guess. So there are a bunch of old like RecFest t-shirts that I have, at least like one from 2017 and things like that. So
you've started a collection. That's great. After this short message, we'll continue to learn more about our wonderful guests. Welcome back. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski, coming to you live from Studio E. I'm joined by our guests, Jacob Nelson, a junior at MSU who is studying environmental sustainability and is the IM Rec Sports social media manager. We're also joined by Kailey Nguyen, a junior at MSU who is studying graphic design and is the IM Rec Sports graphic designer. So, Jacob, what has been your most memorable moment working for IM?
I would say Breakfast, which is what we do in January. We put on a huge event just with a bunch of like inflatables, games that everybody comes to at IM West. And it's a fun night. I think it goes from 8 until midnight. Or actually, no, I think it's even before then. It's a long event and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's fun to be there and set up and yeah, just enjoy myself, I guess.
And Kailey, what has your most memorable moment been?
I agree with Jacob. I think the Rec Fest that we put on is a really good way to welcome students back onto campus after winter break. Even though it's all gray and drab out, I think it's really cool that we put on like this fun fundraiser event, and we get a lot of these cool inflatables, and it feels nice to have such a fun event on campus so early in the second semester.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you market these types of things, Jacob, what social media platforms do you use?
So we use Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter most often. We do have other accounts on certain platforms like TikTok and Snapchat, but they haven't worked as well, and we've had some issues with some of the apps. So we stick to those main three.
The main three. I like it. Kailey, what does your workspace look like?
So I'm mostly behind the scenes as the graphic designer. My setup at home, I work off of just portable laptop. I have an external monitor. That's really helpful with just blowing up the graphics, zooming in on whatever I need to. I also have an external drawing tablet that helps me with hand-drawn elements that I want to add onto the posters or website banners or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of personal touches.
Yeah.
Jacob, what does your workspace look like?
Mine is a bit different than Kailey's. I do a lot of work on my phone because I have to be posting on certain social media platforms. But we do sometimes go out in the field and take pictures with the photographer and videographer. And then other than that, I'm just in the office at the marketing meetings talking. So like IM East, places like that.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. Jacob, how do you balance your work, life, social, like how do you balance all of that?
So for this job, it's pretty flexible, at least for me. There's not that much pre-work that I guess, or there's not that much like pre-work that I have to do for the photos. So I have a pretty flexible schedule, and I often get to choose like which hours I want to do. So that's pretty easy juggling that with school, because school, as you know, is like very like set schedule. And then social also tends to be pretty flexible as well.
Yeah. Kailey, how do you balance your graphic design, especially because that's also your major? So how do you balance work graphic design with school graphic design?
So our team meets just 1 hour a week on Thursdays, and then outside of that, it's mostly just whenever I have the time to. It's mostly based on when the project for work is due, and most of the time those due dates are pretty flexible. So whenever I find the time to, when the assignments for school are top priority, then after that I try to work on IM Sports marketing, and then outside of that, I think I manage my social life, work life, and school life pretty well.
We would love to continue this conversation, but we must return in just a moment after this message.
When do we give up? When do we just close our eyes and say, That's it. This water's too polluted. This disease too far along. To a Spartan, the answer is simple. Never. Because Michigan State was founded on the belief that our purpose is to make the world a better place. And when you're open to unconventional thinking, you value people's differences and are willing to work harder, push farther, and forge true partnerships. Then and only then can you solve the world's toughest problems. Better, faster. Like renewable energy, clean water, Parkinson's disease, and fighting malaria. Things Spartans work on every single day, all without fanfare. Because we know our true triumph lies in the impact we make on the world around us. And after all, if we don't do it, who will? Spartans will.
I would like to welcome you back to Studio E. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski, and I'm joined by our guests, Jacob Nelson, a junior at MSU who is studying environmental sustainability and is the IM Rec Sports social media manager. We're also joined by Kailey Nguyen, a junior at MSU who is studying graphic design and is the IM Rec Sports graphic designer. So, Jacob, do you think that you will work in the sports industry in the future? I know that you have a major in environmental sustainability, so what's the practicality of that?
Yeah, I don't plan on working in the sports industry in the future. I mean, I plan on going into like parks and recreation or I guess just environmental activism in general. So sports is kind of on the sideline with that, especially because my recreation would have to do more with natural resources. But I do think that like the marketing aspect of the job, it's very useful, at least for certain parts of the jobs that I want in the future, because you obviously need people in the public to know about certain issues in the environmental world in order to care about them. So
yeah. So Kailey, what are you thinking? Sports? No sports?
I don't think I'll really gravitate towards the sports industry. I mean, if they're looking, then maybe I could try my hand. But I more so prefer the graphic design that you find with branding and packaging. But an important aspect of being a graphic designer is kind of being a jack of all trades and being flexible with the type of creative work that you're being commissioned to do.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts? Jacob, do you want to plug anything?
I mean, our social media accounts on Instagram, it's at MSU_RecSports. I believe it's that across all platforms. And then other than that, not really, no.
Well, unfortunately, we're at the end of this program. First, I would like to thank our guest, Jacob Nelson, for being here today and sharing his experiences.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
Second, I would also like to thank our guest, Kailey Nguyen, for sharing her time and sharing her experiences.
It was great talking to you today.
That is all we have for you on this installment of Spotlight. Join us next week for some more content. I'm your host, Emma Wisniewski. We hope to see you again and have a great night, East Lansing.
Thanks for watching. Spotlight is a production of MSU Media and Information and was produced and directed entirely by Michigan State University students. Join us next time for more Spotlight.